1 in 4 child deaths are suicide. We can change this, but by Jerry Georgatis, a friend of mine, on January 21st, 2020, and it was by the Stringer. Children as young as 9 years have been lost to suicide. 3, in fact, in recent years. Australians should ask why. Proportionally, more children aged 14 years and less have been lost so far this century compared to last century. Death by suicide of children cannot and never should remain shrouded in silences and the rubbishes of presumptive stigma and sensitivities. We do no one any favours and in fact cost young lives. Nearly 1 in 4 of child deaths is a suicide. How harrowing. In 2018, there were 100 child suicides aged less than 18. There were 448 child deaths nationally, according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics. That's 22.3% of child deaths are suicide, nearly 1 in 4. Last year I was aware of 4 12-year-old suicides, 2 of them in Western Australia, 1 in South Australia, 1 in Queensland. 2 of them were First Nations children. In 2017, I responded to and supported the family of a child aged 9 who suicided. In 2016, a 10-year-old girl suicided, and in 2014, an 11-year-old boy suicided. I have met the families of the young ones lost, whom I've just described, and some of the family members I have supported to this day. In 2014, there were 89 child suicides. 89 again the following year, 91 in 2016, 98 in 2017, and 100 in 2018, and I estimate higher for 2019. In the first 10 days of 2019, there were the tragic deaths by suicide of 5 girls aged between 12 to 15, 2 of them aged 12, 1 aged 14, 2 aged 15, and their tragic deaths I took to the nation. 2018's 100 child suicide deaths were the leading cause of death among Australian children. Whereas thereabouts 25% of suicides are of females, with child suicides thereabouts 40% are of females. The highest rate of child suicides in the Northern Territory, 5 times the national rate of child suicides. Last week, Queensland's Child Death Register emphasised that suicide remains the leading cause of unnatural deaths for children. The Register's latest report recorded that the highest rate of suicides yet since the Register commenced in 2004. In the financial year 17 to 18, there were 37 suicides of Queensland children aged to 17. The report noted that 10 of the 37 children had not presented any suicidality prior to their loss. 14 of the children were known to child protection authorities, while more could have been done for them. Children in and out of home care or known to child protection are the most overrepresented disaggregation. 10 of the 37 children were First Nations. 8 of the 37 children were aged 10 to 14 years. We need the long overdue investment in outreach, the psychosocial, so as to journey alongside our sisters and brothers, children. That was by Jerry Georgatis, who's a wonderful human being who does lots of work in the area of First Nations child suicide.